On this video, we're going to spend some time talking about the mix chamber and the air cap assembly. This is one of the biggest benefits to this gun, so I think it's important for us to review it with you. When you receive the gun in the box, the air cap will not be assembled on the gun. You'll notice a sticker on the back face of your air cap. And again, this is a sticker with a diagram or an image showing someone tightening the air cap with a tool. And we just want to call attention to that, to the operator who may be unfamiliar with the gun, that's a critical step in the assembly process for the success of this gun. We want that air cap snug tight with a tool to properly seal your chamber. So you'll see this sticker on your air cap. It can be easily removed, but it's just to call attention to that. So Chris, why don't you show them again?
Sure.
How quick and easy it is to remove the air cap from this gun.
We'll simply can take your nut driver that's torqued on, and that just pops right out like that.
So that gives the operator access to the mix chamber, quick and easy, for a couple reasons. One is the impingement ports, right?
Yep. If their pattern is going bad on them, or they feel they have some buildup, they can quickly get it at the gun without doing significant knockdown to the gun. Pop that out like that. You can look at your impingement ports, get your drills, drill it out. Or they could have another one loaded up already. Maybe they want to go to a different size, maybe doing some tight detail work. You want to choke down your mix chamber size, get a little less output. You can have one loaded up already on an air cap, keep that in your pocket, swap out between the two.
So, I mean, it's not required to have a second air cap. It makes it convenient.
Good point.
But why don't we show them the chamber does disassemble from the air cap?
It does. It does. It looks like it's loose in there. It is. It's a reverse thread or left-hand thread. To get those out, reverse thread, unthread that, and then you can just pop that.
So that's your mix chamber. It is significantly smaller than mix chambers, what customers are used to. But why don't you talk about the mix area of the chamber? It really hasn't changed much, right?
It really isn't. The impingement mixing methodology is the same as our current guns on the current Fusion AP or the PC guns. The diameters are slightly adjusted to meet the flow requirements of this gun. So the sizing is a little bit different on the hole diameters, but the theory of operation is identical to our guns today.
The length from the impingement port to the exit, about the same length, right?
It is. It's the same length.
Yeah, it's just crazy that it's so small.
Also make sure though, it's nice to have a second air cap because you can soak it if you get buildup, but there's these clean off air ports. Clean off air is always on this gun. There's a series of radial angled holes, and reference your manual for the size, but if those become blocked, you can get some pattern variation. So just run a drill, make sure that those are all cleaned out and that they're not.
So that air flows through the cap to the face, and it helps.
It does. Yep, it goes right around the
keep your cap from having buildup on it.
Cap and the tip of the mix chamber as well.
Okay. So why don't we show them how easy it is to put back together,
Sure.
thread back into the air cap.
Again, it's a reverse thread.
So what's the reason we did a reverse thread on the chamber?
So when you are extracting out of the cartridge, they're an opposing thread. So you can loosen this and it will not disengage from the mix chamber. So basically you can use the air cap to extract
Makes sense.
the mix chamber. But you want to thread it in fully, and then when it basically, I call it rattling around in the air cap like that, that's when you know that it's good. It's ready to be installed in your cartridge.
So then putting it back together, it's really a three-step process, right? You want to use the alignment pin, make sure it's at the 12 o'clock position.
Yep.
Insert it into the
there.
cartridge. Step 1. Step 2, hand tight.
Crank it down.
And the third step, you can use a nut driver, you can use any tool you have available. Just
Crescent wrench, anything, right? Something that can get in these tabs. You want to give it just a nice snug to fully seat, snug that down to fully seat that blue seal.
Yeah, perfect, but it's easy to access.
It is.
Quick
Very
for
easy.
the end user.
Very easy.
Nice.
Key benefit of the gun.
So one of the things we want to talk about is chamber sizing. We have all the standard sizes that people are used to, 37, 42, 47, 52, but this gun is going to give you more output, is it?
It is.
What's the reason you get more output through this gun?
There's less pressure drop through this gun than on our other guns. There's more unrestricted flow leading up to the mix chamber.
So for for the customer, they need to know how that gun's going to behave, right? So they can do a couple things. They can reduce their pressure at the machine. We're typically seeing people reduce it 100 to 150 psi. Mm-hmm. The other thing is they should step down their chamber size about a half a size. So if they're used to spraying a 52, with this gun, a 47 is going to be equivalent. Or if they're used to spraying a 42, a 37.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a learning curve with figuring out your chamber size.
Right.
but for the most part, it's about a half a size smaller than what they were used to. And Chris also mentioned that we did some adjustments on the impingement port diameters and the exit port diameter, and that was all done on purpose in order to optimize your spray pattern, right? To get the best spray pattern, we had to make some small changes to the diameters. So if you're using a 42 chamber, we don't want you using the same drill bits that you used on your 42 chamber on an air purge or a ProConnect gun. It may not clean properly, or
Right.
you know,
They're different diameters, right?
so in order to help simplify that, any of the drills that come with the new FX gun are going to be color-coded blue. So if it's a blue drill bit, you know it's safe to use on the FX gun.
Right.
If it's, you know, if you have a pile of drill bits and you have your old silver drill bits or gold drill bits laying around, they may not work on this gun. Make sure you're using the blue drill bits, right?
Exactly, yeah.
The last thing we wanted to talk about is the chamber seal. Why don't you explain what the chamber seal is, and is it replaceable?
It is replaceable. We'll sell these in a 10-pack like so. And it should be noted that it's not like an O-ring material. It's more of a rigid type material. So if you scratch it, nick it, if you notice in a previous video we talked about that weep port, if you see leakage, it's a good chance that seal is damaged or it needs to be replaced. Another thing, sometimes you'll see plastic material start to flow in to the impingement port, which could impact your pattern. So that's one other thing to look for if that seal is impeding flow as it wears. So you can replace that seal
Yeah,
at that
so your
point.
mixed chamber is still usable. All you have to do is replace
Pop
the seal.
that seal off, yep.
So we're going to show you the method to do that. To get the seal off, you're going to need a utility knife, right? And you're going to want to score that seal at the 12 or 6 o'clock position,
Yes.
basically opposite.
Basically 90 degrees from your impingement ports. So just simply take your knife, score that seal.
So then,
And we'll get a new one, but you can see it can only go on one way. We have some recessed regions in there. Again, at the 12 and 6 o'clock positions, that seal will pilot in those recessed areas. So it'll clock it, essentially.
so I think Chris mentioned we'll sell these seals as a 10-pack.
Yep. And again, either way, 180. Just pop on. You can just push down slightly to get it lined up. And it'll just pop on like so.
So just want to emphasize this isn't something you're going to need to be doing every day or
No.
every couple days. These seals should last many sets of
Exactly.
material, but at some point they may need to be replaced.
Right.
And we want to extend the life of your mixed chamber, and so we allow that, designed it so that seals can be replaceable.
Yes.
I think that covers the mixed chamber and the front air cap. I think that we'll wrap up this video and move on to our next one.